Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone, this evening to our Link to the Past Randomizer Showcase race here. I am Mikan. I'm joined by Malay. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Alright, so this is a Link to the Past, but probably not as you might have played it as a child. We are indeed playing a randomizer, and nothing is going to be in its normal spot. Well, hopefully.
Hopefully not.
I suppose we could find some things in their normal spots, but we likely won't. We're doing some pretty particular settings for this one. We are playing on inverted mode, which means that our players will be starting in the dark world and need to find their access to the light world. They'll need the moon pearl to not be a bunny in the light world, and there's some other things that have been changed around to allow for some funky mirror usage. And we are also playing on key sanity mode, which normally in a randomizer, dungeon items like the keys and the maps and the compasses will all still be in their dungeons. Well, in key sanity, those are also shuffled in the general item pool, so we'll be finding all those everywhere. And there will be a little pop-up that comes up when you find those items to say what dungeon they belong to. We do have Arborelia on the left and ZandraVandra on the right. We're just getting a couple things squared away here, and then we will be off. Alright, sorry about the wait, folks. Just a tiny bit longer here. Some unforeseen circumstances. By the way, shoutouts to the tech crew for our getting the unfortunate disconnection issues earlier. We got them all squared away. I know we have a lot of people working behind the scenes, keeping this marathon going, and it's been quite a blast to watch, I know.
Alright, what up?
Oh, perfect. Alright. Alright. We might, you'll already see, we do have some custom sprites in the randomizer. There are quite a few. I think there's over 100 at least that people can pick from when creating their randomized seeds. I think we have the the maiden on the left side, popular from the Thieves' Town dungeon, which you might see fairly early.
Most likely.
And on the right, I have no idea who that is. Do you know who that is?
I believe that's probably a custom sprite for Zandra.
I see. Yeah, I don't recognize that one, so that must be just custom sprite. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
It looks a little bit like that guy from ARMS, the Switch Puncher game. I don't think that's who that is, but it looks a little bit like him.
I guess.
Is Zandra the sprite? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Zandra's playing as Zandra. Dude, I want to play myself in a video game. That sounds awesome.
Well, you can just play as the bunny. There you go.
That's true.
All right, we're off.
We are off. So, immediately you're going to see some weird things here. Zandra started at Link's house, which in the Dark World has replaced the inverted mode, has replaced the bomb shop in the lower section of the Dark World. And to simulate starting in Sanctuary, arborelia started at what we call the Dark Chapel, which is where the Sanctuary would be, but in the Dark World. So we're going to see some really... we're going to probably see some really safe strats and some weird stuff, because we don't start with an item.
No.
None of the ladies are starting with any items. We have 3 hearts still, the basic stuff you would start with in a normal seed. So they are going to just try to survive. Arborelia is going to a popular bomb farming location. Getting 2 bombs will immediately unlock 5 item locations just south of Link's house. And there's always 2 bombs and 2 magics that'll spawn right here at this Skull Woods drop. So it's a fairly popular bomb farming spot right at the start there, because it's very easy to die and reset those bomb drops.
Yeah, it should also be noted that enemy scaling in the Dark World is the same as it is normally, so starting out you're very vulnerable. It's very easy to die. As you can see, Zandra took 2 hearts of damage from the I'm not sure what to call them.
Roper guys, I guess?
Ropers, I guess.
I guess.
I call them trash bags because they look like trash bags.
They do kind of look like trash bags, yeah. So, yeah, with the green mail, those jumping guys still do 2 hearts of damage, and that is, like most enemies in the Dark World, still 2 hits away from death right from the start. It's very dangerous starting out in inverted mode. Yeah, not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot in Skullwoods, just I think some arrows and rupees, but the guaranteed bomb drops is really the main draw here, because we have what we call the Hype Cave in Southern Dark World, which with 2 bombs you can just get 5 items, and it's very nice. Arborelia did end up finding the Ice Rod here, which it's not quite a renewable weapon since it takes magic to use, but it is a weapon nonetheless, so in an emergency we do have something.
Yes, indeed. And also worth noting is that since we're playing Key Sanity, normally each dungeon has a specific number of items inside of it. In Key Sanity, that's not the case.
Yeah, since in a normal seed, you'd always find the keys and the maps and stuff in their own dungeon. Since those have been replaced, the dungeon item count is all sorts of different. Arborelia will be our first person into what we call the Hype Cave here. Oh, wow, it's... What, the gloves and the hammer? That's pretty nutso right from the start.
Oh, yeah, that hammer is very important. That's going to be our only weapon until we find a sword, and it's going to be better than the sword, at least in terms of damage.
Yeah, that's true. The hammer does do the same amount of damage as the tempered sword, so that's practically the level 3 sword already. It's a little more difficult to swing with. The hitbox is all sorts of strange on it, but I mean, it's definitely better than the ice rod and bombs. Arborelia poking into Swamp Palace here. These little telepathy tiles are actually hints. Well, that one's a joke hint, but sometimes they do actually reveal useful information, but sometimes they are just nonsense joke hints.
Yeah, for example, it might say what specific item is in a location, or it might be a little bit more vague and say something is behind the hammer, for example. And then you'll know, well, that item's going to be in a spot that is locked by the hammer, basically.
Yeah.
So they're very useful.
It could be as specific as, oh, I don't know, the boots are in Desert Palace or something like that. That would be a pretty nice hint to find, actually.
Yeah, the boots are a guaranteed hint. One of the hint tiles will always tell you where the boots are.
Yeah, that's true. It may be specific about the boots, or it might be vague as just to say a unique item is in this location. But either way, there will always be one. Hopefully we can find it, and hopefully it'll come early so we can actually get some speed.
That
Right.
little bush there always, not always, but can have a bomb underneath of it, so it's always good to check that when you do this. We get the flippers.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 bomb drop in that bush right there. Hey, and arborelia got 2. Nice. Zandra will be following suit very shortly, heading down. They could go right into the Thieves Town dungeon if they want. With the hammer, they actually have the means to... Oh, wait, this is key sanity. Never mind. Well, okay. Without the big key to get very far in the dungeon, we actually still have 4 chests to check here.
I think it's worth it.
Definitely worth it. It'll be really quick to death warp back to the start of the dungeon, too.
Ooh, getting sniped by that fireball. That's always fun.
That's a little scary. Zandra getting one of the bombs and throwing chicken.
This little dicey, this horsehead guy likes to get in your way. You never appreciate how dangerous Thieves Town is until you come in here with like no health.
Yeah, all these horsehead guys do 2 hearts of damage, I'm fairly certain. Oh god, Zandra just jumped right on top of one. Ugh. Is that gonna be a heart refill? Nope. Hey, there's the moon pearl. Alright. So with the hammer and the gloves, that is actually our light world access. That opens a significant number of checks for free in the light world. And they're much safer than this too.
They are a lot safer for sure.
So any item that's available from the start of the game in a non-inverted seed is now open to us. That's a lot of stuff. You can actually just go straight up from town here and take the warp that's above town and just clear out all of Kakariko Village if you wanted to, but Arborelia looks like she's gonna kind of loop down here and check out the stuff and probably take the portal down here just above Swamp Palace. Oh, or far with some rupees first.
Yep, all those warp panels that are normally in the light world are in the dark world instead, in inverted mode.
Yeah, you don't normally get to do this in non-inverted seeds. Since the arrow game is in the dark world, you don't usually have access to this place, and by the time you do have access to it, you probably don't need it. So Arborelia is gonna be getting a little bit more cash here, as Zandra might grab the hammer and the gloves here at a hookshot or out of the hype cave and just immediately take that warp to the left. Oh yeah, we did see our first key right there, a small key to Turtle Rock. So I believe the goal of this seed is just to beat Ganon, which means that we will need to find all the 7 crystals, go into Ganon's tower, and then beat Ganon. Since we need, the keys to finish dungeons, though...
There's a pretty good chance we're going to be going to dungeons, so we don't actually have to complete looking for the things we need.
Yeah.
That's just how key sanity is.
Yeah, one more thing about key sanity is that normally in Randomizer you would be able to check your map to know what dungeons are crystals and which ones are pendants. Well, in key sanity you actually need to find the map of that dungeon before you can see the reward on your map. So you might not see the map check here for quite a bit, and we are extremely likely to finish dungeons that we don't actually know what the reward is going to be. But I mean, with 7 crystals and only 3 pendants, you're looking pretty likely that you're going to need to do at least one of them.
Yeah, and as somebody in chat pointed out, the music is randomized in the dungeons as well. So normally they have distinct pendant and crystal music, but you can't count on that in key sanity.
Zandra did find the small key to the Tower of Hera on the pyramid. There's only one of those, and that gains access to an item that takes actually 2 minutes or so to go get. We'll see if she actually decides, after getting the Tower of Hera, actually go down and check that chest, it is kind of a pain, but it's there. It's one of the small keys you don't want to find, actually. Arborelia is our first player into the light world here. So since the Link's house is actually at the bomb shop, the bomb shop is at Link's house in the light world. So while I did just mention that stuff about knowing crystals and pendants, you can actually talk to this guy and he tells you what crystals 5 and 6 are. And today they are Desert Palace and the Tower of Hera. Crystals 5 and 6 are significant because those are the dungeons in the base game that you need to finish in order to access the big bomb in that shop. So for helpful sake, they just let you talk to that guy and he just tells you.
Yeah. And there is one other location you can glean the green pendant. Oh, here we have a big key. What's this for? This is for Ice Palace. That's...
You see the landscape there on Arborelia's side is a little strange. That is because that is a location you would normally access with the mirror. And since the mirror, in inverted, takes you from the light world to the dark world, the normal layouts of some of these cliffs and such are just completely unavailable. So the landscape actually had to be completely altered, and a lot of them you can just walk up to.
That's true for the graveyard ledge, the Hylia item, checkerboard cave in the desert area. So we see a map in the library. That's very appropriate. I always like seeing that.
And Mimic Cave as well. You can access alternately just by jumping down onto it.
Mm-hmm.
So Zandra did find a fairy in a bottle up in the woods, so that'll give her access to one additional item here in town from the Sick Kid, which you would normally get the bug net from in the base game. And Aurelia did find the big key to the Palace of Darkness, which is a nice big key to find, because if you have to double tip Pod a second time to go all the way to the big chest, that can take a little bit. We're going to get a huge influx of items here as both players are in Kakariko Village. There's at least 14 items in this area. Here's the map of Turtle Rock. So getting maps for dungeons that you don't have any information on is just great, especially really long ones like Turtle Rock that need a lot of items in order to finish. So knowing right away, well, I would say you could tell if Turtle Rock is a pendant or crystal, and then you could know if you need to find the ice rod or not, but we already have the ice rod.
We do have that, yes. Turtle Rock's a little bit different and inverted as well, since there's more entrances. The dungeon can be shorter if you just want to complete it. But yes, finding that map's very useful. There's a sword as well, that's going to be helpful. And there's the key to Swamp Palace, the small key.
The small key to Swamp Palace is interesting. The entire dungeon, except for one single chest, is locked behind that small key.
It's very important. So it's the real big key.
It's very important to have that before going in there. And luckily, we got it so very early, and we're actually not too far off of, well, I guess we're just a mere away from going in there, and we still need the hookshot. Never mind, it'll be a while.
Well, we can go in there without the hookshot, that's fine, but we can't complete it without it.
Well, so we'll need the mirror to fill the water up.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. We did see Aurelia go in there and check the hint. Maybe if we get the mirror soon. Yeah, with those, I don't know, with those flippers, if we find the mirror before getting down to that side of the light world, I wanna see a crazy gamble in there. Who knows? Even without the hook shot. Alright, Zandra needs to check the Sick Kid. I think that's the one item that Aurelia could not check because she does not have a bottle quite yet. So this will be a little bit more information that Zandra has. Oh, well.
Yeah, just a big 20.
Not all that cool in the end.
I wouldn't be surprised if she runs down and checks it anyway, just to get it off the list.
That's too far away, I think. You can just come back here later when... No, okay, that's right. I think from here she might head over to the right and check the ledge and maybe walk over to Sanctuary. Because there's a really long string of things that you can do after first getting Light World access, and it's all different than non-inverted because you can't just save and quit the Sanctuary.
It's true. It does look like she's heading over here to check out this area over here, as well as Sanctuary. Sanctuary does have an item inside of it. And with the gloves, if you are so inclined, you can drop down into the back half of Escape, which has a few items.
It's not exactly a rare case to hop down there and then just go through the very end of the escape sequence and just come out of Sanctuary. So we might very well see that, having that glove already. Going this way, maybe she actually is going down to turn in the bottle.
Ah, seems like it.
I will eat my words then.
See,
both players. I like how both players took different entrances into the Dark World, or into the Light World, crossed each other in the town, and are now going separate ways again. So, if Arborelia decides to go north some more, I suppose. But Zandra will be the first player down in the southern half of the Dark World. We're going to get the 2 items out of the dam here, and then 5 more over in the mini Moldorm cave. Oh boy, there's the bug net.
Oh boy. Everybody's favorite item.
It's a very wonderful safety to have. But we'll see if it actually gets any use. I'm not sure. Usually potions are enough, but we'll see.
Well, you never know. Might be in Ganon's tower and just need that fairy to feel confident enough to finish out the scene. So there's the map of Desert Palace, which we already got information on, so won't be too easy.
Arborelia started to push the grave to fall down to escape, and it said, oh right, I can come check this.
And normally this location is very annoying to check in a non-inverted because you need the mirror and a bunch of other stuff, and this is just really out of the way, but it's just a blue rupee today.
Alright, looks like that is what Arborelia is going to do, is going to fall down here and probably go back up and check out the heart container chest that's at the very end of the Sanctuary. Meanwhile, Zandra came all the way down to Agina's cave outside Desert. Didn't really get much to show for it, though. Back of Escape wasn't much help either.
Here's another location that was fun. I know what you're going to say. Right?
Yeah, checkerboard. As long as we got the glove. And it's going to walk all the way back. It's a really long walk, but there's no better option, I think. I don't know if saving and quitting here and then going back to the portal would be faster or not. It'd be pretty close, I think. Sanctuary heart container, nice. It was a heart something. So with the flippers, Arborelia's coming up on the Zora area if she so desires to go that way. Won't be able to buy Zora's... Oh, guess not. Okay, won't be able to buy Zora's item right away because we do not have 500 rupees.
But yeah, it's a little rough.
Pretty close. Oh, looks like she's just taking this slide path down to the Hyrule Castle. Gonna hop down and say hi to Uncle.
Yeah, there's 2 items back here, and then there's a few items in the front half of Escape as well, which you can get if we desire. Small key to Ganon's Tower. Well, that won't be the last we see of that message. Ooh, magic powder. And a lamp. And a big key to Skullwoods.
Oh gosh, Skullwoods big key. Well, funny enough, there are no big doors in Skullwoods. The big key only opens the big chest where you would get the fire rod in the base game. They've both already been there. That's a long... I don't know, that's kind of a really special trip to go all the way just to open that. It'll probably be a long while before we actually see what's in that.
I would agree.
The lamp's pretty cool, though. That does give us access to Death Mountain. In the randomizer, you are never required to do dark rooms, so the lamp is always before having to traverse any dark rooms. There is a dark path up to Death Mountain that you would just take in the base game, or if you're lucky enough, you can just have the flute and fly up there, but of course we don't have that yet. But with the glove and the lamp, we can actually access up to Death Mountain right now.
Small key to Castle Tower. That will refer to Aghanim's Tower in the Light World. Well, Dark World, I guess. But there are 2 of those keys.
Oh yeah, I guess we didn't mention, in Inverted, Aghanim's Tower and Ganon's Tower have actually swapped places. On top of Hyrule Castle is where our players will go once they have all 7 crystals. That'll be Ganon's Tower. And the giant floating castle on top of Dark Death Mountain will just be Aghanim's Tower. Hey, there's the Quake Medallion.
Yeah, and it should be noted that Aghanim's Tower is always open as well.
Yeah, if they wanted to, they could go right in there. And since this is Key Sanity...
It's not a bad idea.
Xandra will actually be able to check both chests in there. Typically, in a normal randomizer, there wouldn't be any extra items to find because there's 2 chests and both of them have to have small keys. But in Key Sanity, once you get one of the small keys, you can actually access both of those chests. Oh, there's the Master Sword from the Hobo. And our first Palace of Darkness key from Zelda's Cell. So there are 6 Palace of Darkness small keys. It's quite excessive.
There are a lot. We see arborelia releasing that fairy because she wants to Death Warp, and if you try and Death Warp with the fairy, you come back to life. It does not quite work.
You'll also look very silly, and you might slap your head too, like, oh well, maybe I should have gotten rid of that.
Seeing so many runners do that, it's just unavoidable sometimes. So this is what happens when you enter a dark room without the lamp. It's dark. You can still go through it, but you just won't be able to see. You can still see the shinies on your sword.
Yeah, having a sword is extremely helpful for dark rooms like this. Xandra only has, oh gosh, 1 heart left. Is going to try to make it all the way to the to the ledge item here. At least see what it is. That's a compass. You don't need to go all the way up there. Yeah. I don't know what room she's in because I cannot see.
I can't see either. B1.
I don't know which floor B1 is. Oh, I think she's looking for the chest. So this room is designed like a cross, and on the right side there's a chest, but it's not flush against any of the walls, so you kind of have to work at it to find it. Hopefully you can see the sparkle stop if you're rubbing against it, or maybe you can get your sword clinks on it. But oh, there we go, it's a piece of heart. Sometimes you'll have extra items that'll make darkroom navigation a little easier. Maybe a boomerang or a hook shot you can use to clink against distant walls. Or if you're really lucky, you can use the fire rod to light torches, and that'll just light up the whole room. And that's really nice when that happens.
Yeah, that's just a weird little trick in the game, I guess. Since normally you have the lamp anyway. So lighting the torches does make the entire room brighter rather than just giving you a lamp cone, but it's kind of funny that it works that way. At least to me.
I think with that lamp, Death Mountain is looking pretty nice. There's not actually a whole lot inverted you can actually do there, but I mean, we'll have the 2 items from the Castle Tower, and then Super Bunny Cave will have a couple. just 2. And I think that's all we can actually do up there right now, just the 4 items. We might be able to open Turtle Rock with that Quick Medallion, but without Samaria, without the Cane of Samaria, there's actually nothing we'll be able to do in there other than check the hint right at the start. Oh, I guess we'll be able to also save the old man, won't we? And check the Spectacle Rock cave item. We're not going to be able to get up to Hera quite yet because we don't have a portal there. We don't have access to one of the portals. But saving the old man will actually give us a save and quit point, which may be a little useful. Look at that mini Moldworm up there. He's not having a good day. Oh, here, he got out. Alright, both players just kind of cleaning up what the other one has already done here. Once we get done with these, we will have some... These are kind of the initial checks once you get into Light World, finally. You'll see our runners probably split off in separate directions once they finish up with their respective tasks.
So just to answer a question in chat, we actually can get a Super Bunny Cave and such right now because in inverted mode there is a ladder above the portal that takes you up, and then you can cross the bridge and hop down. So the right side of Dark Death Mountain is available to us right now, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, that should be right. We don't have access to the right side of Light World Death Mountain yet, but Dark World Death Mountain we do.
Correct.
There's a little, yeah, as you said, right above the portal, right next to, well, I'd say Ganon's Tower, but it's actually Aghanim's Tower in inverted.
This is confusing, isn't it?
Yeah. Luckily, we have enough hearts because there's Lionels over there on that bridge, and they are fairly dangerous with green mail.
Yeah.
Luckily, we'll have enough hearts to kind of tank at least one hit from them and get over there safely enough. Zandra is walking out of the castle. Must be wanting to go.
Perhaps they killed the Green Guard and...
Oh, couldn't Death Warp?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Probably wants to, with the lamp, can easily check that item in the Dark Cross room. Aurelia's gonna come down here and check out some Flipper stuff, I think. Might swim all the way up to the hobo and then back down, and with any luck, we'll have enough rupees to buy Zora's item, even.
Yeah, she's very close, only needs 23 rupees, which, if enemy drops Cooperate, you can farm those from them.
Yeah, I don't remember if there was any money in the Waterfall Ferry. Quick Medallion is nice, but I'd be more concerned about money right now.
The lamp makes this so much easier.
Yeah.
Snake Room is the hard part, I would say. Because, well, normally, it's not too big of an issue with this many hearts, but Neep Sword as well. But
look how easy it is to open that chest when you can see.
Wow. Who would have thunk?
I think Zandra might have thought about Death Warping for a moment there, but maybe saw the fairy and decided, nah, I'll just do other stuff. You just barely dodge that that jumping dude as you come down there. It's pretty scary.
That's great!
Okay, I guess we'll find out if there were rupees in here or not.
Honestly, it was bombs and arrows.
Bombs and arrows. Well. Oh, throwing the bottle. So this is also the reward you get back from throwing the bottle, and it will fill the bottle with a random thing you can put in a bottle. In this case, a fairy.
Yeah, and that fairy fountain will always give that bottled fairy back. So if you ever need a bottled fairy, well, I mean, I guess we do have the bug net and the powder, so I don't see why you would come all the way back here just to get that. You could.
You could. It's still a good check, I would say. Ooh, one green rupee. Just need another 22 of those.
Arborelia is going to be just shy. She actually pulls out the hammer here, hopefully looking for some money drop so we don't have to come all the way back to Zora later. Oh man, I don't know if it's gonna happen. That's a really lucky 20 drop and then one more.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have any way to stun the enemies. The stun price is different than just the prices you get from defeating them. So if that were a rupee, that would be very convenient, since we could just stun them and then defeat them, and we would always get the stun prize.
There's actually also a unique drop for freezing and hammering an enemy. I'm curious if we'll see that. In the base game, that's actually a way of getting magic. But... Ooh, Zandra is going up to Death Mountain, and Arborelia right behind her. Both players heading up to Death Mountain at the same time.
Those birds looked like they were about to...
Oh yeah, those birds really
dive.
hurt. I'm pretty sure they do 3-4 hearts. It's actually really a lot.
I believe it's 3, I want to say. I'm not sure. Might be.
It's excessive.
They're very dangerous, even in normal rando. Just because they do so much damage, and they are relentless. They will never stop attacking you.
Oh yeah. I read once that the flag that determines if a bird stops attacking you or not is based on one of their coordinates, like exactly where they appear. Because some of the birds in the light world will just fly and attack you and then fly away.
Mm-hmm.
None of the birds in the dark world have the flag that makes them stop. They always keep attacking you. So yeah, chat noticing that there is no old man house. We actually have to take the old man all the way up to the portal and then jump all the way back down the mountain to actually turn him in. It's a bit of an annoying trek, but it's something you just gotta do. You will be able to see the item on Spectacle Rock. It's just a 20 rupee. You can get that just by walking up behind it. There's a small ramp that you can, right below Hera, that you can just walk up to that, since, you know, the mirror is unavailable.
I get a small key to Ice Palace.
As the old man breaks through the side of the mountain. I could have just done this myself. So I think the order here is to go up and check the item inside Spectacle Rock, save and quit, back to the Dark World Death Mountain, and then climb back up. So you can take that extra ladder to the east side of Dark Death Mountain, I think. Oh man, Zandra's gonna be just barely in the lead climbing up this ladder. Run!
We do get another hint tile as well, if you care to do that. I think it's always worth it generally, just because it's kind of like an extra item check. And we do see both the runners jumping down to take the stairs up, so they can do that.
Oh boy, synchronized staircases. Oh no, Arborelia! Oh! Lost the tie because they thought about a sewer key and armor is fire-locked in Misery Mire. Okay, so that would be the Hyrule Castle key, Hyrule Castle small key, and one of the armor upgrades is on the western side of Misery Mire.
That's a good hint. I mean, the armor upgrades are pretty useful. We don't have one right now, but just going from green mail to blue mail is really nice.
I would agree with that. If I still had green mail by the time I got over there, I might just go grab that.
I think it's generally worth the safety, because especially later on in like the Ganon fight, he does so much damage if you bump into him without any mail upgrades. So that's my opinion, but I'm kind of a conservative player, I guess. Like to be safe.
We did see our players. Yeah, we did see our players split off now, completely opposite directions. Aurelia is gonna go check out the Eastern Palace area. We're gonna be able to get at least 8 chests over here. 3 from the back of Sahasrah's hut, and then 5 from Eastern Palace itself. So there's a good chunk of stuff over here. The only issue is that we don't have the bow nor the keys in order to finish the dungeon. However, you can talk to Sahasrahla, and he will tell you where the green pendant is. In the base game, the green pendant is what lets you get the boots from Sahasrahla. So if you talk to him, he will tell you where the green pendant is, and it is at Turtle Rock.
Ooh. Nice fire rod.
Does the fire rod actually unlock anything right now? Yeah, of course, the back of Skullwoods. It'll unlock the one chest at the bottom of below the bridge, and Mothula himself. It is worth mentioning that this game, the randomizer has a very robust item logic to it. You cannot actually soft lock yourself by misusing keys. And since Mothula is behind some key doors, actually the game expects you to have all 3 of the small keys of Skullwoods before fighting Mothula, just because you can use them in dumb ways, and the randomizer item layout actively prevents that. So while it's very easy to just go beat Mothula with the fire right now, logically we don't have access to that, but I will tell you, no one follows that for Mothula. I don't think either player, here or ever, will actually actively seek out 3 Skullwoods keys before fighting.
I gotta make sure I'm supposed to do this, Mikan. I need all 3 of those keys, or else I just can't do it. So we did say the Cane of Burna picked up by Arborelia. Cane of Burna is our first invincibility item, and those do lock a few locations behind them. The game will assume you have an invincibility item for some checks just because of, for example, the Spike Cave. You can't get really through that without an invincibility item, without like some really bizarre combination of items and such. And then there's Spike Rooms and Misery Mire and such, which I believe the logic is there for one-hit KO mode. But regardless, it's still a pretty useful item. Most useful in the blind fight, I would say. It's because it makes that fight very, very simple, very free. So not a bad item to find this early. There's a hint here as well. Unique items in Palace of Darkness.
It's good to know.
I like unique items.
Yeah, they're pretty
Most
good.
of them.
We can go into pod. We can't get very far in there. I think we have, what, a single small key? That's it. One thing also worth mentioning, now that we've found the fire rod, is that in inverted mode, the wall in front of Ice Palace actually has a wall in it. Or a hole in it, rather. There's a hole in the wall of Ice Palace, so they actually do not need the mitts in order to go in there and do stuff in Ice Palace. And we actually do have the big key and 1 small key of Ice Palace, I think.
That's correct.
So we actually could go in there if we really wanted to. Arborelia taking some death here. Yeah, taking some hits there.
Partial death.
That's true.
Normally you just damage boost through the anti-fairy surrounding X. Normally you have to defeat all the enemies to get them off of that, but that takes a while, so generally the strat there is just to take damage boost through it, pick up the pot, and press the button. It's much quicker.
Yeah, as we were mentioning earlier, that Cane of Burna actually does give access to Spike Cave right now, huh?
Sure does.
That's not too far from save and quit point, and Arborelia has all of her magic, but I think Mothula and the back of Skullwoods, the 2 items back here, are going to be on the docket first. I guess this makes sense.
We did get the big key as well for this, so we can check the big chest while we are here.
That's true. She might have forgotten about it.
If she walks out, then you can just grab that in the way.
I suppose so. I don't know why you'd walk out. We'll see.
This is a fun room.
I hate this room so much.
Especially when you have green mail. You don't like getting hugs from the mummies?
Oh my gosh, no, it's so dangerous. Watch out. You can freeze them with the ice rod. You can actually boomerang them to stun them. The hookshot does not stun them, but we don't have either of those items.
Thank goodness we have the Master Sword. That would have been Thankfully, the blue skeletons are very weak.
Oh yeah, there's an anti-fairy under that pot. There's a bunny beam rather under that pot. You can use powder on those bunny beams while they're still underneath the pot, so you don't actually have to lift them first.
Just waiting for the wall master. Normally you can death whip out of that room, and that's fine as well, but we did get that health refill, so the wall master is just the quickest way to get pulled out of that room. Because normally when you walk out, you have to push the statue out of the way. It's kind of a pain.
I want to say Arborelia also has that fairy from the fairy fountain, right? So
Yes,
definitely
that's
worth
correct.
keeping that around.
Especially for Mothula. Because Mothula is not the most difficult fight in the world, but it's one of the, I would say, most unpredictable fights because there's so much going on. It's very easy to take a lot of damage, and especially without like tempered
Yes.
sword or half
I would
magic.
definitely agree with that. With the Master Sword and Fire Rod combo, Mothula is gonna... Oh gosh, the bumper! It's gonna take 8 hits to take out, which can be really annoying if you accidentally hit Mothula into spikes there. There's a
Yeah.
map of Thieves Town, which is great because that's a dungeon we don't know about yet.
And the other thing is we can use the hammer on Mothula, but it's very hard unless Mothula gets below you because the upwards hitbox is kind of wonky. It's really hard to hit enemies above you with it.
Yeah, it would only take 4 hammer hits, but as you said, it's really difficult to get in there safely. Especially when you're going to be going into the fight with as little amount of hearts as Arborelia is going to. It might only pick up 1 or 2 more hearts before actually getting to the boss. And on green mail, that's still not very safe.
Yeah, the spikes will do less damage than Mothula. Ooh. Jellyfish.
There's a full magic drop right there.
That was really fortunate.
Oh, but they didn't take the time to grab it. Oh no, she didn't grab it. I think she would have had time if she dipped down to grab it right away, but
I think so.
oh man, I was probably a little worried. Alright, Zandra into the dark room of Eastern Palace that we can see. Unfortunately, the only thing in Eastern Palace was that cane of Berna, and it remains to be seen if that's actually where the game wanted you to go to grab that for the spike cave. And speaking of spikes, here they all are in Mothula's room. Hitting Mothula against the spikes actually does 0 damage, so Mothula kind of picks themselves when they want to take damage.
Yeah. If you can get above Mothula, it's really good, but yeah, touching Mothula will do more damage than the spikes, because spikes will always do 1. And Mothula does more than 1, unless you have
Yes.
Melt Grid.
I think she's got some pretty good hits in, so it shouldn't... There we go, okay.
Yeah, well done. That very did come in handy. Full heart container.
And a crystal.
Alright.
Why, how vanilla is that? A heart container and a crystal.
That actually is pretty vanilla.
Zandra is heading up to East Death Mountain, or maybe Spike Cave, to follow that Kinaburna chain. He's gonna have barely enough magic. Oh yeah, there's that hammer. We're going to Spike Cave. There's 4 bushes right outside that portal that actually have a high chance of hearts and fairies. So if you really wanted to, you can top off. It's going to be really close. Oh man. I mean, this isn't logic. You can do this with walking, like without the boots, and just Berna. It's extremely close though.
I think it's fine.
Oh, it's just a map.
Map to Misery Mire.
Oh man, I'm disappointed.
Well, you know. If that were a good item, a lot of runners like to put that off just because it is kind of a pain in the butt to check, but
Oh yeah,
I respect the off chance checks.
it's happened more than once that I've almost like last possible location an item right there. It's definitely not rare. Zandra did check the map after getting that Mire map, and we have another pendant over down at Misery Mire. Arborelia getting the information that a Palace of Darkness key is held with a fish.
A grumpy
That is a
fish.
hint. A grumpy fish, yes, not a pleased fish. There's nothing exciting about being a fish.
I don't think there's any happy fishes in this game. Go ahead.
That means either the catfish or King Zora is going to have a Palace of Darkness key. That hint applies to both of them.
I don't know what King Zora is going to be about. He gets money for,
He gets paid.
frankly,
big
trash
time.
items.
Yeah, that's true.
Making a sweet premium.
Alright, we see two very different places. Oh my gosh!
There they are.
Arborelia finds the boots in the very first chest of Ice Palace. And Zandra finds a Palace of Darkness key, which is definitely not as exciting.
500 rupee value. Potentially.
Yeah, may very well be, actually. Oh, Turok is Quake, so you can actually, in inverted mode here, hop down the tail, which Zandra will demonstrate, and open up the dungeon this way. Unfortunately, you still need Cane of Samaria to do anything in there, but
Yeah.
I guess you can check the hint at least.
Well, there's one hint tile right there. It's always good to check those when you can.
Speaking of hint tiles, Arborelia is just about to hit another one.
Yeah, setting up the quick kill on the Stolfos first, though, is more important. The Book of
Hey.
Medora is in Palace of Darkness. That's our unique item, potentially. And the unique item is in
Yeah.
Ice Palace, which we just saw was the
I think
boots.
Zandra will definitely chase that hint after this.
These are some good hints.
Yeah, so in the normal randomizer, you're able to access Desert Palace using the flute, the mitts, and the mirror. You can fly down to the Mire area and then just mirror next to Desert Palace. You can't do that. The Book of Medora is always going to be a required item to access Desert Palace in inverted mode. So knowing that Desert Palace is a crystal and knowing where the book is A+ information.
It's very good, especially because we already know that the Desert Palace is one of our 5-6 crystals. So
Oh yeah.
we do see Zandra heading in here to the Agamemnon's Tower area, which we did get a small key for, so we'll be able to get both chests in here, which can contain items or maps, I guess, to Eastern Palace.
Another map for a dungeon we don't know anything about. That's great. I mean, they're better than like the
Could be
Hyrule
worse.
Castle map, I guess. It's not much worse. I mean, it could be a compass, I guess.
Compass
But
is much useful.
It's not a progression item, unfortunately. Alright, one more chest here in the tower. Aurelia's about to pick up a couple more chests here as well. Dang.
Well, that is another location that can definitely... Ooh.
Half magic, a wonderful item to find, especially when you very well might be fighting Cold Stare soon.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal. Big key to Eastern Palace.
That unlocks a single location. That'd be an awful place to have the bow.
Yeah, that would be awful. It would also be very, very normal, but it would be awful in this case. You're not expecting normal.
Xander's gonna be chasing that fire rod to the back of Skull Woods here. He's gonna need to stop to get magic somewhere. Isn't gonna have enough to light the torches. There is actually a full magic in the middle section here.
Yep,
but I
behind the
think-
wall.
Yeah, behind the bomb wall in the back, but I think she's just gonna farm. There's two small magics right here.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, they're the big chest. I really forgot to check this.
yes, this could be big. So we'll see. Because this is going to be one of the last locations, if there is something here, that our Borelli is going to be checking. Short of coming here for like pedestal and having... mirror, I
Oh
guess.
man,
Oh, it's just a compass.
I was hoping.
Tower of Hera.
I was hoping big time.
That would have been
Um,
something.
Yeah.
But you never know. If we get down to like a single item hunt with bad locations, our Borelli might come back to school. Let's check that anyway. If they remember they did not check it and got the big...
It isn't too far away if you have like the flute and the mitts. It's not too bad, but other than that, it can be kind of a pain in the butt to get back to. Arborelia did end up finding the small key to Thieves Town. There's only one of those, and that'll give access to the big chest of Thieves Town. So once we actually get in there, we'll be able to grab everything. And I think, yeah, we just need to find the big key before being able to finish off that dungeon completely. Oh my gosh!
What?
Ice Palace also... Ice Palace is paying off huge today. We got the boots here, we got half magic here, and the hook shot.
So the unique item hint could have referred to any of those.
That is super crazy.
That is pretty crazy. Normally dungeons are not this stacked, let alone in key sanity.
Yeah, especially Ice Palace. Ice Palace only has 3 items in normal randomizer, but it's loaded today. Zandra, that bomb wall to the right of this room has a full magic behind it, but she might not know that information.
Yeah, it's not really common to ever go there. Like, you don't need it for anything in normal rando, so there are these locations with items like that are useful to know, but it's just really hard to say if runners know it. Anyway, we're on Cold Stare.
Yeah, Cold Stare unfortunately gets away. Arborelia, I think, released the spin just a moment too early, so they all got away rather than getting pushed back in the corner.
This fight is very
Fire Rod's
scary.
going to be doing a lot of work here.
We don't have that fairy either. We have the loop
she was...
potion. No, she used it on the Mothula fight, if you recall.
I do recall, now that you've told me.
Well, that's good.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, hitting Cold Stare does take 4 hearts of damage, so it's scary, but alright. It's alright. She got through it. Oh man, another useful item. Well, maybe not.
Tons of unique items in Ice Palace.
I'll tell you, that boomerang makes menuing from the hookshot, between the hookshot and the hammer, makes it A+.
Have you finally come around to the boomerang way of thinking?
I like having a boomerang just to make the menu easier, because it's convenient to be able to move twice in your menu rather than who knows how many times whenever it's all Swiss cheesy.
Normally you're very hard on the boomerangs, but...
What? No way.
Yeah.
You are probably onto something, but still. So that hookshot, Arborelia now has access to the eastern side of the Light World Death Mountain, which has 9 items in inverted. There's going to be a lot of stuff over here. I'm going to predict that we're going to get the mirror over here, and then Swamp Palace is the place to go next.
Do you just go straight to Light World, or you go check Hookshot Cave first?
That's hard to say. Oh, dude, I forgot about a Hookshot Cave too. There's 4 more items. It's actually a hard call. I think this is probably right, because if the mirror's over here, you can really easily access Hookshot Cave.
That's true.
Zandra coming down to check this disappointment chest. Ooh, nice.
You gotta do it. Can't leave this here.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Alright, what do we got?
We know we're gonna need that.
We do need that.
Big key to Desert Palace. 5-6 crystal. There's only 2 dungeons in the game where you don't actually need the big keys. What are the mini mold doing? What the heck? Squeaked on through there. Okay, whatever. I mean, we can just hit the switch first, I think. But this is much more satisfying. Hey.
Hey.
Oh god, Zandra barely avoided getting caught there. Small key to Turtle Rock. You don't want to find those, because that... Turtle Rock has a pendant dungeon. Oh, he does get a full magic drop. Nice. You don't want to have to go into Turtle Rock. Tempered Sword is amazing. Huge fan of it myself.
Oh, that Wall Master.
Zandra had some pretty close calls there with that one. Oh, Sword Beams get in the way of one-shotting that mini Moldorm. I hate when that happens. Zandra, waiting a moment here for the oh god, that was close. For the the Wallmaster to drop. The Wallmaster will yank you right out of the hole. If you're mid-falling, if you are in mid-falling animation, that thing grabs you, it'll still pull you right out.
That will happen to you at least once if you play rando enough.
Oh yeah,
and you will never let it happen again.
Zandra's playing it super safe there, but unfortunately did take a death on Mothula. Still has that fairy though. You get right back in there. Arborelia was trying to decide where to go next. There is a little ledge here. There's a new ledge in Verta mode that lets you fall down into Mimic Cave. Funny enough, this actually does also let you mirror into Turtle Rock. So It can be a very great backdoor into Turtle Rock. Oh no, Zandra! I think that's it, right?
I think so.
Oh man,
it's a tough fight with Green Mail for sure.
Yeah, it really is.
Especially when you're going to be spending all your magic trying to get to the back half.
Without any magic, I'm not sure. She's gonna hope for some magic drops and keep on going.
Well, we did see that enemies are dropping full magics sometimes, so...
Oh yeah, the Gibdos did drop one, didn't they? I guess. Okay, there's another one. Grab it quick. Yeah.
Easy.
Alright, Arborelia running over to the Tower of Hera. It does not have the Tower of Hera big key, but it does have the small key, I think.
Yep, and there is a hint tile or two in there as well. We can only get one without the big key though.
So yeah, this is a just a 3-item check. Zandra saving some magic there using the lamp on the 3 torches.
Every little bit matters. We have a small key here to Ganon's Tower.
That's the 3rd one. 3 out of 4.
These champs don't have spoiler logs. Good to know.
I'll use that information properly. Alright, Zandra, here for revenge on Mothula. So, a little bit about the mechanics of... Arborelia's not going down to her basement. Does she actually have that key? She might not have the key.
She does not have the small key. I was watching.
Gotcha. That makes sense then. A little bit on Mothula's mechanics for those who may be a little unfamiliar. Damage in this game is done in classes of damage, and Mothula, as you may expect, is immune to the class of damage that spikes do, which would make the fight extremely easy, because it's also the same class of damage that the gold sword does. So in the normal game, in the base non-randomized game, if you bring this gold sword into Mothula's fight, you actually won't be able to damage Mothula with spin attacks, or normal attacks even, because it's the same class of damage as the spikes give. It's actually kind of annoying. Instead, you would have to use pokes with the gold sword, because pokes do one sword level less damage. So poking would still do tempered sword damage. Yeah, so Moth took damage from the spikes. Oh my gosh. Moth high speed charged Zandra right there. That was too fast. You couldn't react to that one.
That's tough.
Alright, I think she's just leaving. Gonna come back a different time.
Thankfully, there's nothing here that is required. So...
Yeah, the crystal's there, so she will have to come back eventually, but I think this is fine. Just come back later.
Yeah,
it's
just a
little more geared to destroy it.
So you see Arborelia heading into Ganon's Tower. Probably going to be a little disappointed. I guess the Eastern Palace information is nice.
Zandra, heading with Catfish. We can see if Catfish is the one with the Palace of Darkness key. Really, yeah, it needs to get out of here. Okay. Might be. Oh, never mind. No catfish. We're going down to the Palace of Darkness area. If the book is here early, that might lead Zandra a little bit astray. Going down to Desert Palace.
Yeah. If we had a potion, we could get a few extra chests while we were here, but I believe that's the case. Unless we find one, of course. That'd be convenient.
It's true, there's a minor glitch that you can do using a potion here in Pod, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that. Ooh, getting bullied a little bit by that bouncing guy. As Arborelia heads into Dark Death Mountain here, we'll be able to get 4 additional items thanks to Hookshot. Zandra playing it super safe here, does not want to die right before Kiki opens up the dungeon. Yes, I see a little bit of talking chat about the Mothula thing. In Randomizer, the gold sword is equivalent to the tempered sword in the Mothula fight, so
Correct.
that bug is fixed in Randomizer. Using a spin attack will still let you do gold sword damage, which means spin attacks with the tempered sword will do 0 damage, but the slasher should work as normal. Nothing in Hookshot Cave.
Nothing of value. Just big 20s, but I guess those have some value. Some monetary value.
Let's see. We haven't... Arborelia hasn't checked, like, the bonk rocks yet, right? With the boots. I guess she really hasn't had a chance to be that way because, you know, inverted.
I don't know if we've seen bonk rocks or the King's Tomb, so...
I don't think we can even get into King's Tomb with...
Oh, no, we can't. That's right.
Yeah, King's Tomb hard requires the Titan's Mitts in inverted mode.
That's true.
Zandra gonna be checking out this hint tile, which will give you a little bit more health. Oh,
Powder is such a good item.
well, that's not useful.
That is not useful.
Yeah, for those just coming in, we are playing on Inverted Key Sanity. Our players have started in the Dark World. Thieves' Town's a crystal, by the way. We just found that out.
Oh, that's good.
Our players have started in the Dark World, have used the Moon Pearl to access the Light World, and have had some fun times so far. We will be searching for our 7 crystals to go into Ganon's Tower, which in Inverted is at Hyrule Castle, and then that will be it. Arborelia has taken what we would consider to be a lead, I think, with the Ice Palace play having absolutely everything. Zandra just found the big key to Ganon's Tower, which is great. That can be a lot of places in Key Sanity.
Yeah, and since we have the big key and several small keys, we don't even really have to do anything against Tower once we get there.
Yeah, it turns it into a very short dungeon. You don't even have to do the bottom half at all. You just... I say very short, but that's definitely not true. Just go walk inside and walk upstairs, and that's
It's
it.
shorter, we'll say.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Zandra will perform the bomb jump here. This is one... Okay, so no. This is a bit tricky to learn, I would say. It's not something that you're going to learn for like normal rando, but it is something that we saw a lot of runners learn. There's the book, that's good.
There is our book.
We did see a lot of runners learn that for Key Sanity because it lets you save a small key and you still get access to the 3 chests on the Dark Maze side, which is very important. But I guess we will have to come back here anyway, so hopefully it's nothing important.
Yeah, having 6 small keys to find to access everything in Pod. Arborelia just left without the book. Oh no. Was she out of keys? Or maybe you just decided that, no, I need more keys for this to be in logic. Maybe that was the line of thinking there.
Perhaps. Oh. Maybe, okay. Okay, this makes sense, I guess, because we don't have the mirror, and I guess this would be a good spot to actually end your route on in here since you're just checking stuff. You're not going to be fighting the boss or anything.
She bought a potion. I think she's gonna go back to Pod maybe and perform the glitch. Zandra looks like she's setting up for the bomb jump here. I think it's a little high up.
You know I can't do this glitch. You know I can't do it.
It's okay. It's a double pixel perfect though. There are a lot of tells that you can do. I myself use the one that I think Zandra's trying to use is the pause screen. Lining up. I use the pause screen to line up with one of the tiles on the far left side of the wall. That's what I use to line this up. I think she's being a little high up though. Okay, this looks a little more right, a little more upward. That's good, that's it. Drop the bomb to the right, move up. Oh no, missed the second part. Got 9 bombs and 3 more hearts worthwhile to try. I guess you can try it a 4th time, but... Oh wait, no, because the bomb's going to do a damage and the fall's also going to do a damage. Okay, this is the last try.
Oh, we have a fairy.
Oh, that's true. A little higher. Oh, 1 more pixel up. Oh, no, there's no time. Well, she didn't take the bomb damage, so she has an extra attempt still. Alright, arborelia is back in Palace of Darkness with a potion in hand. We're going to be able to see our little minor glitch here. Using a potion, you can actually disjoint the camera. And, oh, 2 more up, 2 more pixels upward. 2 more down. 2 more down. 1 more up. No! Oh man, that's gonna be the last try. Well, I mean, unless you get it this time, because you won't take the fall damage this time. Alright, here Arborelia is going to perform the glitch here. So if you push up against this wall while walking left, and use a potion, and then walk straight up, oh, I think you might have to move. Maybe not. Okay, she got it. You do some stuff and it disjoints the wall here, and then you... That's a good explanation. Do some stuff. And then you move those mimics off screen, and then since they're not on the screen, they are, you know, not in the room, so the door's open.
Yeah, the game doesn't see him. It's like, I guess he did. I wouldn't trust that room to watch my kids, that's all I'm saying. Big Key of Small Palace is not very... It's one item location. We don't actually need that for anything else, except for the big chest. But if you're going to go in Swamp Palace, you want to be able to check everything.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, photo finish! Oh, man.
Yeah, it's rough.
Zandra's dipping out.
Yeah, I respect the attempts, because it does save a lot of time, even with a few failures, then getting the small key and coming back.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
There's no point in spending all the time you have just trying that if it's not working.
Really has a very strange set of items for hitting that switch on the left there. Typically you would use like the bow or Samaria. I guess you could use sword beams. I don't know if an ice or fire rod shot would actually go over there, but she's just gonna come over and throw a bomb at it. Sometimes that switch can actually trigger twice when you throw a bomb at it. I have no idea what causes it, but I've had the switches flip as right below the stairs. I walk up the stairs, and then they flip again. And I just can't get up.
Yeah, I've seen that happen. It's unfortunate. It's not the biggest deal, but it's annoying.
Alright, Xander is going to cash in this book here, checking out the Bombos tablet, and then going to be heading into Desert Palace here. It's... What's our desert key situation? We have neither the big nor the small, huh?
For Zandra, that's correct. I forget where the Desert Palace big key was, but Arborelia did pick that up.
That does actually happen. Okay, so Arborelia is going to be able to check additional stuff. Zandra did not... Maybe she checked what was on the ledge earlier. Arborelia ends up using one of those extra pod keys. I say extra, but it's not actually extra.
It's not extra.
To get that mushroom down there.
Well, mushroom is It's an item location. It's like you open
Yeah.
a chest and got set on a goose chase. But it could be important.
Could be. All right, Arborelia is going to give a shot at the Ice Palace, not Ice Palace, the the Hammer Yump here in the Palace of Ice Darkness. As Zandra sees what's on the torch, it's the mirror. She can't get it. Oh, she wants it so bad. What did that say? A map and a piece of heart in Western Swamp. Got it. Oh, Arborelia gets the Titan's bits. Oh no, Zandra's gonna feel so bad. Oh no. And Arborelia is going right into... You know Arborelia's gonna go right into the desert after this and gonna grab the mirror right away. Oh man. That's super smoky.
Ice Palace, yeah. As well as a shovel.
Oh yeah, the shovel. It... Oh, man.
Dig stuff.
People asking where boots are. Boots are in the first chest of Ice Palace. Zandra has not made her way down there yet. It's been, I think, been really trying to avoid it. I hope that she knows it's actually an inverted change, you know, that the wall is actually open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because normally you can't get in there without the mitts, as well as the... Well, we have a fire source, but yeah. I guess we'll find out. It's also possible that it's being avoided just because it is kind of a pain to go through there. Like, we don't have a good way to kill the penguins, for example.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I like bombs. Bombs work pretty well for that. I think that's what Arborelia did before picking up the hook shot.
I think Arborelia actually did spin attacks, but
no.
You're right that bombs do take them out in one. It's a little hard when they're, you know, slipping and sliding all over the place.
So
it does work.
Zandra decided to steal the small key from the back of Desert Palace and is coming over here to open the front of Desert Palace. The game does expect you to have the single key to Desert Palace in chests to access both of these locations to prevent locks. So whatever Zandra finds here will be out of logic and cannot lead to the Desert Palace small key.
Just a compass, unfortunately.
Yeah, with that, you have to find the desert small key in order to get to the boss. It could be, you know, optional in the sense that you would just need the big key and then completely ignore the right side of the front half. You can just, you know, just stay in the back. But with that usage like that, now the small key has become a required item.
Yeah, that is one of the risks in Key Sanity if you use that, because the desert, you never know where that's going to be. It could be in a very inconvenient location. And if it doesn't pay off, then, you know, your opponent's not going to be inclined to do that, most likely. We'll see what it really actually does.
Xandra's going up to Catfish. I was a little hopeful there until I saw that menuing to the hammer. I guess she doesn't have any magic to do Ice Palace right now anyway.
Yeah, this could be, I guess, the small key to Palace of Darkness as well. If she wants to go back in there to get the items, then
yeah, that's true. We do know one's here. Or one is on a fish.
Ooh, that magic drop unfortunately disappeared.
Oh no. So that's a great hint to find right as you get the mirror and access the Swamp Palace.
Yes, that's very helpful. Anytime you're able to skip the left side of Swamp Palace, it's a good day, I say.
Oh yeah.
And big key to Hera.
We do need that.
That's our other 5/6 crystal, conveniently. So it is possible we'll do desert, do Hera, and then grab the big bomb head with the pyramid carrot.
Oh, that looks like a small key palace of dorkness to me.
It's gonna be really funny if Sora also has one.
Oh god. Yeah, because they both skipped it. Or they couldn't do it, rather. Arborelia's in the back of desert. Is she also stealing the key and going back to the front? Because
No, she's just gonna complete the dungeon, I think. And I think that's
the big key. I'm sorry.
Yep, we do have the big key.
I see.
That's how we got in the big chest, Mikon. What are you doing?
That makes a whole lot of sense now. You say. I see the line of lit up big keys, and I was like, oh, that's just the default state. I'm just looking for a number on the side. Like, I have one big key to this dungeon, as opposed to two, I guess.
She didn't pick the lock. Though that would be useful talent to have.
Alright, Zandra is going to get revenge on Palace of Darkness. We'll be able to find the myths, which... You know what? This might work out. I wonder if that's going to lead her to Ice Palace. If she doesn't know about the hole, in the wall, she might go there on the Light World and lift the rock and go through the portal.
Is that
Maybe
portal still there in Inverted?
I think it's still there.
That's weird, then. Yeah, I guess we'll find out, maybe.
This might actually still work out.
I
Alright,
think
anyway, Land Mola. these guys take 2 hits from the Fire Rod. That's about it.
Yep, they're pretty weak.
Oh,
When
the
you
portal's
have fire.
inverted. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because this is inverted. Getting a little low on health there, actually, but manages to clean it up.
Yep, so that's one of our red crystals.
Oh yeah, and with that Hera key, we can actually go all the way back up around the mountain. Oh, I guess we have the mirror, so... Well, no. You actually do have to take the portal on the... Or you have to walk all the way around, or I guess with the myths, it'll be even faster, huh? You can just walk right over to East Dark Death Mountain, take that portal and head left.
Mm-hmm. What do we have in the Mire Shed?
Not a whole lot. I think we may have lost Zandra for now, but that's alright. We'll get her back as soon as we can.
Yeah, I believe we've been having some outages for various ISPs. There was a little bit of trouble earlier, but as soon as it gets back up, we'll have her back.
Yeah, over on Discord when they were having internet problems earlier, we saw a little hotspot map of internet outages, and it looked pretty scary. So,
Yeah,
hopefully it doesn't get too much bigger.
it looked like a weather map, which is never good. Like, oh, so it's hot in California right now. Oh, that's internet outage. So
Alright, our relay is going to be tackling Swamp Palace here. It's going to be very fast. Don't have to do the west side at all, and I guess we don't have... Well, we do have the big key as well, so we'll be able to do everything here that's important.
Swamp Palace without the left side is probably everybody's favorite dungeon. It's so quick and so many items.
Yeah, that's a lot of items in a short amount of time, actually. And here's where you need the small key, right at the start.
Map of Hyrule Castle.
Ah, good. Now we know if
Now
it's
we know
a or a crystal.
I feel like everybody makes that joke, but I mean,
Yeah, I know. We have some people that are probably new to the randomizer here. I think it's alright to reuse some of the old rando dad jokes.
sure.
Sparingly.
Sparingly.
We don't want to groan them out of the stream. So what all do we actually need for our go mode? We don't need... Well, we don't know where the we don't know where the last pennant is, so we're not positive on what dungeons we need to clear quite yet.
We will need
it is
the
guaranteed
bow.
we will need to find the bow, though. Yeah, you're right. We will absolutely need to find the bow. And you know what? We have the potential not to need Cane of Samaria, huh?
Yeah, unless the we need something and yeah, actually, you're right because we did find the Ganstar Big Key already. So there's nothing we're gonna need on the right side, and Turtle Rock and Mr. Meyer are both pendant.
Yeah, it's fairly rare for it to happen, but it is possible to have seeds where Samaria is not required. And it's, I guess, yeah, as you said, until we find that bow, we're not exactly sure, but is that it? Other than like the Thieves Town Big Key we still need. I guess
Thieves Town Big Key.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Aurelia's stream here. Oh, Zandra's back, hey.
Potentially the Big Key to Eastern Palace, if that's our... Ooh, there's silvers, that's really good.
Nice.
There's the cape.
Which we did see Bumper Ledge, right? Which I think it was a small key. I don't remember seeing it. I was having trouble picking up this pod. This pod is actually surprisingly difficult to pick up.
Yeah, you can pick up the pot even if the statue is halfway over it, but it's a little finicky sometimes, because sometimes it's thinking, well, are you grabbing the statue? Okay. Let me help with that.
Alright, looks like Xandra did pick up her mitts and is now heading into the Light World Death Mountain here. There wasn't a whole lot over here, if I remember.
There's a sword that'll be very helpful.
Oh, yes, for sure. Man, I really hope Xandra gets convinced to go down to Ice Palace soon. I think eventually she'll get blocked, like a lot sooner than usual, and we'll be able to, run out of locations other than that.
Yeah. It is possible that Xandra just doesn't like Ice Palace, and that's not an uncommon sentiment, I would say. A lot of people don't like Ice Palace. Some people really like Ice Palace, but most of the people I talk to don't like Ice Palace. What are your feelings on Ice Palace, Beckham?
I'm alright with it. I can definitely understand the hesitation because it's one of those dungeons where you would love to be able to go mode, right? You want to not have to gamble on, oh, do I need to go check everything in this dungeon? That's a lot of extra time. But I'm on the team that if you can clear a dungeon, you go do it, even if it's Ice Palace. That's my team.
There goes Argus. Fairly simple boss as long as you have a proper sword level.
Does get the Ether Medallion. I bet Arborelia checked what the Meyer Medallion was, and I totally missed what it was.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think I missed it too, so... Could be anything.
It could be. If it's Ether, I would just kind of groan and say, oh man, really? I don't want to go in there. It's a pendant.
Well, we did get the hint earlier that there is an armor upgrade on the left side of Meyer, and we haven't found the other armor upgrade quite yet.
That's true. I don't know if that's worth going into Pendant Meyer, though.
Yeah, Arborelia hasn't really needed it either. She hasn't taken any unfortunate deaths, I think.
Arborelia is heading off to the Tower of Hera, I believe, and may decide to actually dip into the back half of Turtle Rock while she's here.
Why not?
The
Why
laser
not?
bridge is really quick for items. It is.
Has the cape as well, so...
Oh yeah, Cape and Barada and Half Magic, you won't use anything checking all those out. There's always a fairy in those bonk rocks, but I guess she doesn't want it.
Do you remember that short change where they changed what was in the bonk rocks that had things in?
I do remember that. You'd bonk rocks and like apples or bees would come out. It was,
Yeah, just a whole swarm of bees.
It was so funny. Yeah. Oh, someone's asking if Swamp was a crystal. I have no idea.
It was a crystal, yes.
Oh, it was? Okay, good. Yeah, bow's the last item we're find. That we need to
Big
find.
key.
I would be really worried if I found Samaria in this situation.
Yeah, we do need the big key of Thieves' Town as well, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's about it, unless we need Bombos for getting into Mire, which I don't think it's like
Mire's a pendant.
Yeah, but maybe the bow's in there.
That's true. Okay.
Who knows?
But yeah, Samaria.
Maybe the bow and the Thieves' Town big key are in there.
They're both in there. That would be awesome. We've got 3 more item checks in Hera. Red boomerang.
We did find that Ganstar big key already. Small key to Dark Palace.
By the way, here's your key to go find the GT big key. I guess it wasn't even behind a key. It was behind one key. Oh, there it was. I think I saw... Yeah, Pod is a pendant. Wait, did we know that already? Oh no, we didn't know that. Okay, Palace of Darkness is our last pendant. Which means Eastern Palace, big key, was now required. Oh, I'm really trying to... You can dash through this, this bumper here. I don't know. I have no idea how to do this. It's apparently really easy because I see people just go and line it up all the time. But
yeah,
maybe Arborelia like me is like, well, I have no idea how to do this.
Yeah, I think if you're high enough is the trick, but I don't know. I just can never get that. I'll always thump and just feel like a dummy. Speaking of dummies, Muldoon.
Oh man, this guy is such a dummy. I hate him so much. Wow, he can't even damage me. You just have to push me off. Big jerk.
Like, I'm coming to get you. Okay, never mind. Wait, I've just exposed my one weakness. I'm
Another
completely
pod.
invincible except for my tail.
Another pod key. As Zandra is going down to check the basement of Hera, which Arborelia can do. As you can see, it's going to take a while though.
Yep. This is a good room to grab your drink, take a sip, reevaluate what you're doing.
I think she was thinking about it. Or maybe trying to decide, man, do I actually really want to go check Turtle Rock right now?
Well, this is the bow or the Thieves' Town big key. Or the Eastern Palace big key. If you're not going to check it while you're in Tower of Hera, you know, it's going to be
I'm
hard.
gonna check it for a while, yeah. Oh, just the heart in the basement. Alright, Arborelia on 4 quick checks here. Laser bridge. 2 pieces of heart so far.
Oh boy. Now we can fight Mothula.
Wow, nothing. That's all you can do here.
Well, I mean, this is still... You gotta check this. It's 4
Okay.
quick items.
Now, if she wants to, she can walk back up the mountain and then hop down and check the where the big key is. The big chest is. Looks like that's what she's gonna do. You can check kind of the middle section, Turtle Rock, as well. Zandra being a little indecisive here. Might be running out of locations. I suppose she can save the blacksmith now?
Well, we're heading down.
Oh, down's good. Left is not, though. Oh, man. There's the bow, right there, in the Turtle Rock big chest. Alright. 2 big keys left. That is all Arborelia needs.
Heading back through this way to check some of these chests.
Oh, Zandra's gonna be doing the... No, she can't do the big bomb because... couldn't finish desert.
I believe this is the last... I've never seen the Maiden's bunny sprite, but it's lived up to everything I could have hoped for. Another small key to this dungeon, of course.
Of course. I love that. You have to gamble using a key on that door, or saving that key to do it elsewhere, but
yeah.
you can,
That's actually a big deal in Key Sanity as well. I believe that Christos Owen once lost a Key Sanity race because he checked that.
and had to like go find the extra key.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, Chain Chomps given no mercy.
Yeah, these guys do 4 hearts of damage, by the way.
Yeah, we're still on green mail. 4 hearts is not actually...
And they act exactly like your dog does when you get home.
That's true. When you only have 12 hearts, that's a third of your health. Oh gosh, I think this is fine.
Alright, well we don't have the cane of Samaria, so...
Yeah, that means that you can't get anything else. You can grab this key, I guess, but that's not gonna... There's a little person right on her face. Oh yeah, there's the
roller room.
The roller room above the big chest. Oh, did she not get that? Oh man.
Not sure.
That might have been worth a mirror, and then walking up there to check. Ah well.
Well, we are rescuing the blacksmith for Zandra. Have not seen this quite yet.
I just realized the tracker is marking off the bosses rather than rather than lighting them up when a boss was defeated. Instead,
Well,
they're marked off whenever they've been defeated. That makes a whole lot of sense. I've been confused for like an hour and a half, but I didn't want to say anything. I was the fool.
Well, that's usually the case. But that's why the people love you.
Aurelia is going into the Palace of Darkness. Just kidding. Going into Eastern Palace. Where's the EP Big Key? Well, wait. We've had that forever, haven't we? Oh my god. Yeah, because I just talked about the line of big keys earlier. Oh my gosh.
Okay. I, of course, knew that the entire time.
I'm better at playing than I am commentating. That's fun. Zandra did dig up a map, unfortunately. That shovel not leading to anything.
No treasures to be found there.
Yeah, I guess... The purple chest? Did she just do that? Or was that like... I missed what the purple chest situation was after...
Well, we didn't have the mirror, so...
Oh, that's right. So she has to walk all the way back to grab it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Doing the blacksmith stuff, inverted or not, doing the blacksmith stuff without the mirror is a big pain in the butt.
Such a nightmare. Nobody likes to save and quit. Turn those in. I guess it's better in inverted because usually you're going the way you want to, like one way from Dark World to Light World. I don't know. At any
It's so
rate,
weird. I can count the number of times I've played inverted on one hand. So the routing and stuff is still kind of new to me. I do agree with, like, as soon as you gain Light World access, you can almost just loop around the entire world, checking everything, because it's a pain to get back to without, you know, having the mirror to make that routing better.
yeah, and sometimes the big annoyance, quote unquote, of inverted is that your Light World access is locked behind, like, for example, Hammer Blind or something like.
Oh yeah, you can have some really nasty situations. Having to beat blind with what a 3-heart hammer is always what people say. That's really scary. It's
Yeah.
definitely possible.
It's possible. There's a lot of things possible, Econ.
Yeah, that's true.
It's possible to hover to Trinix.
Wow, I can't believe Arborelia didn't hover to Trinex whenever she was there earlier. But oh, Eastern was a pendant? Wait. Palace of Darkness is not the pendant. Eastern Palace is the pendant.
Okay.
Oh boy, that's another thing I messed up then. Whenever someone checked the map earlier and I saw a pendant on the east side of the world.
It's a good
I
thing
was
you're
like,
not
oh,
racing this
that's
seed.
probably Pod. So that was my bad, I think. I apologize. So we do actually need... Arborelia does have enough keys, and the big key, to access Helmasaur right now. So, no foul. Everything's fine.
Yep.
Zandra is getting revenge on Mothula again. Does have full magic and the tempered sword and down at the boss phase already.
That was very one-sided.
It's the best kind of revenge when you just completely run over your opponent.
It's very anime.
Yo, I like the heart that Zandra's sprite makes with the hands.
Yeah, that's cute.
Whenever she's holding, I just now noticed that. That's great. Maybe Helmasaur will have something useful.
Well, there's only really like one thing we want at this point.
Oh. That was close. Now, Thieves Town big. What is left after this that Arborelia can still do? There's that one that Crystal Roller room in Turtle Rock. Not sure about the Meyer Medallion still.
There's
Might access it. Meyer actually has a lot of chests in it.
it does. That's for sure.
Yeah, in normal modes it only has 2 items, but in Key Sanity, that is definitely increased a lot because there are actually 3 small keys in Meyer.
She could also opt to do the Pyramid Fairy. Had that since Hera. It's 2 items. Maybe you don't agree with vandalism for profit, but I'm not on that boat. I'll blow up all the pyramid entrances all day for items.
Yeah. Don't do that in the first Zelda game though, because you'll lose your money. Alright, here's the purple chest. I think the save and quit would be the way to go here, unless you have some other duty on the way.
Put you at Link's house in the Dark World, and you can use the portal below that, I think. But this isn't that much longer, if at all, so...
Well, she has to walk all the way back around to the portal.
That's right.
Well, that was a boss over there.
Yep.
That's what he did.
He does not like silver arrows.
Yeah. What is this? Also another heart container and
That's
crystal.
weird.
Oh gosh, these mushroom bully guys are awful. They're also another one of the really dangerous. There goes the chest. See ya.
See you, dude. Oh no.
Sandra pressed A one too many times and dropped the chest right before going in the portal.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Oh my gosh. Arborelia is back in Palace of Darkness, searching for that Ganon's Tower big key that she has a hint for.
Yeah, that is in here.
Really doesn't want to use that last key on the door, I think. The front door. I don't know, I love opening that door. It might already be open, actually. If it is, I don't know why she's coming this way, but we'll see, whatever. Oh yeah, the mushroom was here, and I don't think we've seen that yet either. Yeah, Zandra's making the walk over to the purple chest again. Is probably really running that. If she actually does, like, has completely forgotten about Ice Palace being open in inverted mode, this could be like almost her last location. She can even think of the check.
That's a good point.
And if it's the Thieves Town big key, that could, I mean, lead her astray even longer. But I mean, it's going to be a required item anyway.
Map of Ice Palace.
Oh, baby.
Oh boy.
Oh wait, actually the purple chest might not follow you in inverted if you save and quit. I actually don't remember.
Oh, I'm not sure either.
Maybe that's why she's not saving and quitting. That would make sense to me. I know there's some particularity with the blacksmith chain and that. Maybe that's what that is.
Well, that is one of the things that's kind of... Even in normal rando, it's not like the most intuitive thing to think, oh, I can save and quit with this guy following me or this purple chest following me.
Yeah, it's been more than a couple times I've seen people come into the rando Discord saying that they're stuck and not realizing that they can save and quit with the blacksmith to return him home without the mirror.
Especially if you aren't playing with a tracker that will like tell you can do that.
Yeah. And that's incredibly normal to think as well, right? Because you, in the normal game, of course, you won't have you won't not have the mirror. just do that. That is not the Thieves Town big key or anything of use. We're gonna get a mushroom turn-in and presumably a Zora check finally.
Yeah, that's still open, isn't it? That's Compass. Opting to buy some potions while she's here. That's always something I approve of. You never know when you're gonna need them.
No, you definitely never know.
It's good to stay hydrated. You got a whole bot for that.
Stay blue potion, everyone. Zandra heading back into the desert. Maybe thinking she missed something in here. I don't think there's anything left for her in here.
I don't think so. She even stole the key on the left side. She has the big key, but she can't get to the boss.
Yeah, but the chest is still here, I guess.
Oh yeah, the big chest is still here, that's true.
Which had nothing, if I remember. Like
it had a big key to Tower of Hera.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know where Zandra's going next. Man, oh man.
Nope.
I guess Zandra doesn't have the small key to desert quite yet. She just stole the one in the back, so she needs to find the extra one, the spare one. If Zora gives us Samari, I'm gonna laugh so much. There's not really many other places left to go, so it's feeling likely we might be finding that soon. I would hope.
Can't that be in Gen's Tower though? If it's not required?
Yeah, definitely. It definitely could be. We could find that in the Molderum 2 chest. Oh, it was nothing the whole time. Zandra's heading down to the Ice Palace area. Oh, baby. This is surprising because I'd expect her to just go to Tower of Hera after finding that key and maybe having forgotten about this place. Man, that is some crazy aversion. If she had remembered this the whole time, that is some really deep aversion to going into Ice Palace.
It is. I mean, I understand it because I know, especially when I was starting out Zelda Rando, I really hated Ice Palace. Like, I couldn't make heads or tails of it, and I just always put it off. But I understand it on some level. I do think it was probably avoided a bit too much. But, I mean, it's rare that Ice Palace is this stacked as well.
Yeah. She might be thinking that, oh, well, I need the hook shot to do anything meaningful here.
Yeah.
Past the first chest or something, which is really not true. But it's something that I do see runners experience something there. And there are the boots. Zandra grabs them. It's now going very fast. Yeah, poor Ice Palace gets a bad rap, I
I think it's well deserved.
think.
I don't think this dungeon deserves a good rap.
Arborelia is going to the Bonk Rocks, maybe? I don't think we've actually seen those yet.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We have myths as well.
Oh
So-
yeah, check out King's Tomb. Oh, never mind, we're not going to Bonk Rocks. Maybe she is going... Oh, she's checking this, gonna do Bonk Rocks, and then going to get that small key on the bumper ledge. That's what's gonna happen. In that
Makes
case,
sense
this
to
makes
me.
sense. Yeah. Zandra getting a little low on health. Getting really low on health. Oh gosh. What's the fairy situation? Alright, we're good.
Yeah, the fairy, thankfully. Bugnet, people laugh. At the
Oh dude,
Bugnet.
Bugnet has been paying off big time.
Bugnet will never betray you.
No.
It might just save your life. Can any other item in the game help you catch items that bring you back to life, Mikan? No.
I don't think so. I mean, the powder.
The powder doesn't let
aids
you
in the
catch them.
process.
It aids in
That's true.
creation. Doesn't let you save them to live. Also, Bugnet is my favorite weapon for fighting Aghanim
Oh, it's
and
definitely funny.
Swordless. Maybe an outside Swordless as well, to be perfectly honest.
What if you had the flute? You could like fly to the potion shop, and that would aid you in not dying. Is that similar?
Hmm. Well, at that point, you're still alive.
That's true. The death hasn't kicked in quite yet.
Maybe if you can, get a straw that lets you sip your potions while you're on the ground,
Oh, dude.
that'd be awesome.
Dude, the witch in Majora's Mask needed that when she was down in the forest, and she's like, "Yeah, give me a red potion." And then you hand her one, and she just stands up. Like, hey, you could have done this the whole time.
Could have, but I'm not going to. I guess Arborelli hasn't checked the powder as well.
Yeah, I'm starting to run out of spots we know about. I'm hoping we didn't leave anything in the crystal roller room of Turtle Rock. I'm really hoping that.
And what's the worst thing it could be? It could be the Bombos medallion. You get Nemire to get your Thieves' Town big key.
Yeah, Meyer itself is the only other thing I could think of, and I'm only saying that because I don't know what the medallion is.
Yeah, we should have been paying attention to that. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, someone in chat mentioning the armor situation. Both players still on the green mail. We do know one of them is in Meyer. But
The other one's probably in GT, to be quite
Yeah.
honest.
yeah, going into Peanut Meyer for just an armor is kind of a tall order in my opinion, but I mean we may end up going in there anyway.
I think if you go in there looking for the key to Thieves' Town, I think you grab the armor. That's just my opinion. Well, maybe
Hook shot.
you check
Xander's
the.
happy.
Oh, good, excellent. Well, that's a good item to find. I think you check the top chest in this Mire for that. If that's not it, maybe you leave it. But I think you check the one chest.
I think I agree with you. Just check the one and maybe ignore the other one. 'cause-
Well, yeah. Unless you really want the hint. There's the flute.
Wait, the flute's been in the stupid chess game this whole time? Oh my gosh. I mean, the
It's
flute doesn't, hardly unlock anything in inverted, but that is such an easy location for getting inverted, because you have access to that from the start of the game, and you don't have 30 rupees at the start of the game.
Oh, boy.
That's too funny, but yeah, the flute is yeah, definitely not the best in inverted. I mean, it can still be useful for moving around, of course, but it actually doesn't unlock anything. Well, once you have the mirror to mirror into the mire area. But with that flute, that might convince Arborelia to go down to mire a lot faster.
Is she checking? Yeah, I was about to say.
We're saying the same thing. Yes, she is.
Well, this.
I don't know how I'd feel about checking this without having Samaria.
Just check it. Just check it. If it's on your mind, you're uncertain. You just want to be sure.
That's a shield.
That's a shield. But the peace of mind is worth so much. Well, at least we don't have to complete all these dungeons.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're about to dip into pendant dungeons, you want to know if you have to complete them or not, right? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter, since we're only looking for the big key to Thieves' Town. And if you find it, you're not going to complete the dungeon, I would think.
Oh yeah, grabbing the chest, the Bob.
The purple chest.
The purple chest. Gonna be flying away because we can do that now. This will be a quick turn in, and then going to mirror right into the mire area. Wow, that's actually pretty neat. Well, I mean, if mire is the docket to do.
I don't see why not. It's not a whole lot else to do.
I mean, if we can get in there.
Well, okay, so hear me out. What if the Thieves' Town big key was in Thieves' Town?
We saw the 4 items in Thieves' Town from the start, didn't we?
Oh, right. We need the big key to actually get back there.
Yeah, it's the big key door in Thieves' Town is very...
That's right. That's right.
Zandra had a much better cold stare fight. Knocked it out of the park.
Excellent. That's a scary fight.
What was happening? Oh, I guess the restream didn't see that. Okay.
Is your stream haunting me, Con?
Something was spooky there. All right, Arborelia is going into mire. I guess the Diane. Yeah, it's great. Okay, she had it.
We've had that for quite a while.
But yeah, first time through here, we definitely had Quake.
Don't blame either runner for not going in there, since we do know 2 items in there and they're not required, strictly speaking.
Yeah, that's true. I can't really say anything bad about that. It makes a whole lot of sense to skip it, knowing it's dependent and knowing you can't clear it.
We don't have the big key for this either, do we? So that blocks out a few locations as well.
Oh wow, yeah. They can't get to the boss, which I guess they couldn't do anyway. But
And this
yeah,
was
no
the
big chest.
So we'll find out what's here. So there's, what, 3 locations? Maybe 4 we can get?
I think it's just 3, yeah. 3 locations that have unknown items. One of them is in this main room here.
What are you? That ain't it.
What's up, Firebar? How's it going? I'll just kind of follow you here.
Thankfully,
got him anyway.
only the actual top of those hurt you, so
Yeah.
you can hug them if you want to. Just do it from the back. Alright, so there's one chest up here, and there's one chest on the right, and there's another chest past the big chest.
Yeah, that's right. So there are 4. You're right.
That ain't it.
That ain't it. Zandra is... Oh yeah, mirror time. I wonder if Sandra will hop right into into Meyer.
Find out.
Oh. Yeah, baby.
There it is. Alright.
That's it.
We're done here.
Yep, that's go mode for Arborelia. That Thieves Town Big Key is the last item she needs to complete the final crystal dungeon and then head up Ganon's Tower. Oh, funny thing for... Oh wait, never mind. Sorry.
Me?
I was gonna say they could just go right to blind, but that's an Randomizer thing.
That's an Randomizer thing. As much as we love Randomizer.
I was really hoping she was just gonna run straight up there. It's like, yeah, I can fight blind right now.
I'll
I
stand in
like,
the
yes.
I'll stand in the light myself and
Oh, that's a great idea.
there we
I was
go.
hoping she'd do it just so I could like be validated. Like, yeah, I'm glad I wasn't the only one to think that. But nope, just me. I'm the only dummy here. Oh, Zandra. I wonder if she thought about heading into Maya right there, but is gonna go do the things that she knows she needs to do first. Yeah, this looks like going to Swamp.
Yeah, it's, you know, putting off Meyer is perfectly fine when you have Swamp. That little Swamp has so many locations.
Hey, free red potion, not bad.
Yeah. I like potions. I like them when they're free.
It's definitely possible you might see Arborelia check some chests that are basically in the way, because an armor upgrade would still be super helpful right now.
Yeah, Ganon does 8 hearts of damage if you touch him.
Don't do that. Even taking the 4 from the fire bats is still a hefty chunk of your health.
Yeah, those are not the easiest things to avoid either. So armor upgrades are still really nice to have.
Like, she'll probably check the chest here right next to the maiden, I would guess.
I would hope so. That's like the easiest chest to check. Gonna check the big chest.
I'm going over here first. Oh, okay.
Why not?
Well, I mean,
It's a heart.
up to 15 now. Now, do you remember where the hint about the west side of Swamp Palace was?
I want to say that was in Turtle Rock. I might be wrong.
I don't know if Zandra has that hint.
Well,
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
I think she would have to at this point.
We're seeing double here on our left runner's screen. This is the funny part about whenever you're playing as a sprite that, you know, is in the game.
This is literally the plot of every Persona game. You see yourself, and then yourself turns into a big monster.
I thought it was me.
You're not me.
What actually happened is Arborelia took her moon pearl. So she turned into evil blind.
Yes. As opposed to good blind.
I'm gonna see that on sci-fi. And then I'm on Rift Tracks after that.
Alright, well that's the last crystal.
After a nice
That's
blind
neat.
fight.
Well, I mean, I guess Aurelia did know blind's every move.
You're me. That means I know all of your moves. Such as wobbling back and forth and shooting fireballs, which I haven't really actually seen Arborelia do. Well, maybe during the moth fight.
Yeah.
So that is how that fight went down. And Lanolos as well, I remember.
Imagine if Blind actually shot fire rod shots at you.
Oh my god, they'd be so fast.
Would Link die in one hit, though, is the question.
Yeah, that's how the damage tables go.
Does Link qualify as a boss? Is my question. Bosses are the only thing that really live through a fire rod shot. Aside from penguins, for some reason. I think penguins take several.
Penguins and ice palace take like, what, 3 or 4 fire rod shots?
They
to
take
kill?
a
It's
lot.
ridiculous.
They take more than you would ever expect.
So those new to Inverted may be wondering, where the heck is Arborelia going? Well, in Inverted, here's your castle. Your Ganon's Tower, it's kind of swapped with Hyrule Castle here, as Ganon has taken over the Light World.
We aren't checking anything downstairs anyway. We'll probably check the chests up the tower just to hope for that armor upgrade. We have the big key, we've got small key, so no point going downstairs.
Inverted, or Key Sanity GT is really great.
If only we're all dungeons, then we could see all the chests here.
Oh gosh. Alright, Zandra about to go up against Argus. Should dispose of him, no problem.
Argus is one of the least dangerous bosses in the entire game. The thing with him is just being able to dispatch him in a timely fashion. With the Tempered Sword, it's no problem at all, since all the puffs die in one hit. And we do have Fire Rod, so that's a quick kill possibility. Otherwise, just 2 spins with the Tempered Sword.
Very nice.
Very good.
Argus always starts moving in a down right position. It's down right southeast. So you always know where he's going to be. So you can quite easily get those fire rod shots in if you time it correctly. Arborelia.
Using my Ether strats.
Ether strats, yeah. Ether is it's the fastest using medallion. So it takes out the rooms with the red Stelphos quite quickly, as they don't have to. It's faster than Bombos, and they don't have to go through the burn animation either.
I'm a big fan of that, honestly.
Ether is pretty great. I have a little trouble with this guy though. These conveyors just make your precise sword swings that much harder. I'll just give this one the boot. Why not?
It's already icy, you're not going to ruin the room.
Oh no, we wouldn't want that.
We wouldn't want to ruin Ganon's Tower. A lot of effort went into this tower, because you do not want to...
Sure it did. And we didn't see half of it, because we went right upstairs.
Like, can you imagine how long this room took to make? This is upstairs, and there's a bunch of sand
Oh
everywhere.
my gosh, that took forever. It would need like a special floor, and the foundation would be all weird.
Yeah, and imagine all those grunts that had to carry the sandbags up the stairs.
Oh, that'd be so annoying.
Through the spikes, even. There's spikes on the floor.
Well, hopefully they would build this room first before installing the spikes.
You would hope so.
But I don't know if Ganon's minions were that
Hey,
smart.
Jerry, can you hit the switch? These blocks are in my way.
Oh my gosh. We'd have dedicated knights just sitting next to the crystal switches. I was wondering what Arborelia was going through with the strats on these rooms, but we never found the Cane of Samaria, so you can't actually use the Samaria strats here. Oh, nice shot. Just nailed the spike.
Secret Service spike there. It's not actually spikes, those are all the silver arrows that every other person who's come through the dungeon shot into that block.
Oh, there you go. Zandra looping around the light world here now that she has the boots. I think kind of really wants to go check the pedestal, it seemed like for a moment there, but instead gonna come over here and check out the Block Rocks and King's Tomb. Watch out, watch out. Alright, we'll see. Does Arborelia check these last 2 chests? These are not
Yes.
the last 2 chests for armor.
Oh,
nope,
no.
see ya.
If it were me, I would have definitely checked those. I just want the blue man.
At this point, you just stay on green just to say, yeah, I never found one. I was green the whole time. Might check Moldrum 2 chest though, because that one is extremely in the way. Oh my gosh! Oh, dang. So close. Well, now they're 1-1. Arborelia has defeated Moldrum once, and Moldrum has defeated Arborelia once. So this has to be it. This is for all the
marbles.
The Hyrule marbles. Ooh, I think that was a poke hit right there.
That was a poke, yes. That was another poke.
And I think that poke was on purpose, because I might still be able to skip the fast phase. Oh,
Yep.
baby. Very nice. Not only has Arborelia taken the fight 2-1.
Big 20. Always a big 20, I swear.
Did it with style. I guess Samaria. I guess it was MGT. There's very few other places it could have been.
Yeah, and GT has so many item locations.
Yeah, that left side down there. It's extremely likely that it was somewhere down there.
I guarantee Bombos, the other male, a shield, and Samaria were down there. So Aghanim 2.
Oh, a little too close to the wizard there. You don't want to slash the wizard. Because contrary to popular myths about wizards, this one's actually very strong against sword. He has a pretty high AC, I'll tell you. Some sort of reflective shield going on there.
If only we had lightning resistance.
Oh yeah. We need that Franklin badge. Well, we do have the Ether Medallion. It looks exactly like it. Why doesn't that work?
Well, there's no way to put it on. Like, you need a pen to put a badge on, right? Where you have to sew it into your clothes.
That's true. I guess, what if you equip it? Like, as your Y button? Is that
No, that doesn't count. Doesn't count. Here's Ganon.
Oh yeah, Ganon is the next boss here. Singing a nice song for us. With the Tempered Sword, each of these phases is going to take 12 slashes. There are 4 phases to the fight. And this is very nice positioning for phase 2, because you can just stand right in front of the circle here and go nuts.
Maybe you can get double spin attacks in this position, but Arborelia is just going to slash. Still in a good spot for that, since the knockback from slashing Ganon didn't move them at all. So
yeah, that was actually a pretty nice position. Yeah, normally you'd see people go right into the corner and spin, but that was actually a pretty precise position.
I mean, as long as you get the one phase.
Yep.
The one cycle. It's all good.
Yeah, any excessive damage between the phases doesn't carry over, so you only need to do 12 hits. You can do more, but it doesn't carry over any more damage to the next phase.
Yeah, you can do more. Feel free to do more, by the way. Just to teach Ganon a lesson.
Alright, here goes the final phase. Arborelia decides to get the torch glitch there. If you end up lighting after the last tile falls in the top left of the screen, the torches go out left and right, and if you relight the left one before the right one goes out, the right one will never go out. So you only have to deal with the one torch this whole time. But with silver arrows, even if you had to light both torches, it's not going to be any issue here, as Arborelia definitely defeats Ganon and will finish as our winner.
Yeah. The torch glitch is most useful if you have to do Syphilis Ganon, since Master Sword spins. That fight takes a while, and you usually don't want to be wasting your magic lighting 2 torches, because you miss out on extra spins and such. But yeah, GG to Arborelia, finishing up that seed. About 2 hours, 8 minutes, 26 seconds or so. Not bad at all for inverted Keysanity.
Yeah, Keysanity usually bumps the timer up about maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes or so. and inverted can be really evil starting out. But yeah, that's still a pretty good time for me. I'll give it the old A+.
Smoldarm fight.
Yeah, Zandra is gonna show Moldarm who's the boss. Alright, let's see it. Gonna be using hammer strats. Hammer doing the same damage as tempered. It's still just gonna be 3 hits, and oh gosh! And we'll skip the fast phase. That only happens when Moldarm is, oh my gosh! 1 hit away from death. Oh! I might be more excited than Xander is about this fight. Oh gosh! Hey, we did it.
There we go.
I didn't do it.
You didn't do anything.
All right. Congratulations to Xandra for beating up Moldarm. I'm not sure if we're gonna finish, if Xandra's gonna finish up or take a stop here. Kind of. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking like everyone can read Discord and see what I'm reading, but
Nah, this is just Mikon talking to himself. They do this all the time. It's kind of weird, but
that's
get
about
used to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Xandra is gonna cut out here, and I think both runners might be joining us here in the call.
I'm not sure, but maybe.
I think they had mentioned it at the start.
Testing mic. All right. Yeah.
I hope so.
Okay, it does look like we are going to get both of them in here for a little chat.
And for those of you might be sticking around after this, we have, according to the schedule, DBZ RPG Legend of the Super Saiyan is coming up right after this.
Maybe.
I think we did end up finishing a little bit early, so I'm not actually sure if they're going to be filling it or not, but that's what it says on the schedule.
Guess we'll find out. Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Is that how it goes?
I think that's how it goes.
I have to rewatch. And welcome, Xandra. Hey, how are... Well, I mean... Oh, I think Arbelia's coming too. Little unfortunate there on that ice palace.
Oh my gosh, I tried. This
Hello.
was possibly the... Oh, hi, hey, I assume you did better than me.
I guess so. But GG, Xandra.
And GG, you too, gosh. Yeah, no, like, it's when I saw, like, the end done, like, no, okay, no, that was not happening.
Yeah, the seed went pretty smoothly for me, and there's only one silly thing, which is that when it was time to go to the chess game at the start, I'm sorry, I got the mic up a little high. When it was time to go to the chess game at the start, I didn't have $30,
Oh,
and so I just left it, and then I didn't have a reason to go back for a long time and get the flute.
I feel like that's such a common occurrence in inverted mode. It's because you have access to it right from the start, and You, in fact, were the only person who did get the flute there. And
I
we saw very
accidentally
little-
marked off the chess game without
Oh
going.
no.
Oh wow! Oh no!
It's okay. I think we saw the flute used, maybe once?
Yeah, I mean, second time for convenience. Yeah, both times it was
didn't hurt.
convenience. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when I finally got around to Ice Palace, I figured, oh, okay, that's where everything happened.
We were concerned a little bit that you might not have known about the wall being open there because it just seemed like you were avoiding it so much.
Okay, so here's the thing. I love Swamp Palace with a passion, and I really don't like Ice Palace. And also, it was a thing where like, well, I don't have the hook shot, so that's gonna. I don't know how to do Ice Palace without the hook shot. I get lost in there. But of course, the hook shot would be there.
That makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, I just of course it
Super
happened to
stacked.
be right here.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you went for that early, Arborelia.
Yeah, because pretty early on I had the items to do it, so why not? There was a bit of a silly thing at the end where I started checking more chests in these towns because I thought I might need to search for the Cane of Samaria, and then I thought about it, I'm like, wait, no.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the cool thing about this. You're like, wait, oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
We have no idea where Samaria was. It was probably on the left side of GT for all we know.
It's not on the pad, I can confirm. Gosh. Yeah, this was probably the best anti-Zandra seed ever.
Oh wow, it was I guess. Go ahead.
Yeah, like it's every single thing I did, it didn't end up working,
Oh.
and I ended up like double, triple dipping a bunch of stuff and just like nothing, all because like I knew I could not compete with you in terms of executions, so I went like usually I will prioritize like out of the way checks. I'll try to route them in just because I figure most folks who have lots of experience will usually like go elsewhere because they rarely pay off. So I usually I gambled a lot and lost every single time.
That line of thinking does make sense to me. Yeah, I can confirm. We were really hoping that your choices would just like end. Like I can't do anything but Ice Palace. I have to go to Ice Palace. But you kept finding things to string you along again and again.
Oh right, no, that's right. Oh, from your perspective, that must have been the worst. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. I think. There was also the bomb jump in pod that held the myths. You got revenge on that one pretty quick.
Yeah. No, it's like I keep okay. I'm not sure what's up with the Hammeryon, but every single I keep practicing it, and as soon as I have it down pat, the next time I do it, for some reason it doesn't work, and then I okay. I wasn't like standing in the right position. There's like all these little details that I accidentally nail the first time around that I don't repeat the second time. So I'm gonna have to like study that one. At least I got the Ice Palace bomb jump quick.
Yeah. I think that seed worked out really well for like the way I wanted to route it. I got to use all the tricks that I like and none of the tricks I don't like. Messed up going to Palace of Darkness trying to do the potion glitch without having the potion.
Yeah, no potion. Yeah, as soon as I got in and realized like, oh, I came all the way here without a potion and felt foolish. But thankfully, that was not the instrument of my defeat. Was there anything on that side of pod?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There's a shovel.
Oh yeah, the shovel.
Clearly very important.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, that was. I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad like you got to show off all the things you like to do. Because like now this seed. I hope it was entertaining also for folks watching, because it was like I was all the time I was wondering. Oh no, I must like. I hope I'm not like giving like a boring performance or like just like being on the other side of a blowout is like never a lot of fun, but tonight has been like, oh, now I know I can watch a race to see exactly all the things I need to improve.
Right.
So I did like. I'm so glad. Like I got my best cold stare fight in my life, and at least there's that. I'll be
did
happy
really
with
well.
that.
You nailed that cold stare. I will say that.
Yeah, I guess I got to show off some tricks I wanted to do, and you got to show chat how Rando can mess with you.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I still love it. It's still great. It's just like, yeah, it gets in your head. And this like game that's gonna be 30 years old soon is still there's still so much in it. Gosh. I just love the Rando community. This is just awesome. And thank you also for like having me in this race. I'm glad I couldn't. I mean, I'm sad I couldn't give like a better challenge, but I'm real glad I got to like be a part of it.
I was very happy to race against you, and yeah, thanks to the commentators and the streamer and the trackers making all this look great on stream.
Yes, thank you both for racing. I had a lot of fun. I think Molly had fun putting up with me.
I had fun. Always.
I'm very grateful that this could happen and that y'all could make it possible. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And thank you, yeah, as you said, thank you to our trackers. I have no idea who was tracking for us, but thank you so much, because it wasn't us. We do actually need to sign off here, I think, so...
Oh, Yogi was a tracker. Thank you, Yogi.
Was tracking. Thank you,
Thanks,
Yogi.
All right, thanks, Pecan.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for racing. Have fun, and enjoy the rest of the marathon.
Yeah.